True freedom requires the rule of law and justice. But what is justice without respect for human rights? What are these rights? Do you know your right as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? What are your obligations and responsibilities under the law? Join Kayode Aderemi Esquire on The Law and You on Rockcity 101.9 FM, Sundays 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes, I bid us all a very, very beautiful, partly sunny afternoon, live from here in the Rock City. That is Abeokuta. Abe is under, Rock is Okuta. So put together, Abeokuta is under the rock. So you have Rock City. Rock City is Ilu Apata. So Ilu Apata ni Abeokuta put together. Rock City and Abeokuta. That's in Ogun State. That's Nigeria, Southwest Africa. You're hearing from us live in the studio. Rock City 101.9 FM, your darling station. I am Barrister Kayode Aderemi, your regular host on this program. Yes, it's your program, of course, like you know. I want to start by thanking all that called me during the week, sent messages. I received many calls. I'm sorry if I couldn't take your calls or your messages. There were so much that I felt a little bit overwhelmed. I'm very sorry. My not responding is not out of discourtesy. Rather, it's because there was so much to do and I could not respond to them all. Please accept my apologies. Ejo Arawebe Sigubua Edari Jimmy. Okay, last week we talked about right to privacy, section 37 of the 1999 Constitution. We've talked about several things. We began from 33 to 34, 35, 36, and we began 37 last week when we discussed right to privacy. A lot of things were said last week. One of them, which I will just mention because time is running already again. Okay, I'll just mention one of them and then we move on to today's issue. I talked about right to privacy and I read to us exactly what was contained in that law. All right, it mentioned rights to your privacy, your correspondences, your homes, and other things. And we looked among other things, we looked at right to privacy of your gadgets. And talking about gadgets, I specifically mentioned your phones, your laptops, etc. I said here, and I'm saying it again, that it is wrong for police officers, especially SARS, to stop you, whether SARS or civil defense or so safe or whatever, to stop you at random and begin to search through your phone to find something incriminating, to see whether they can have a leash on you. That's a twatted way to do things. The proper thing is to get an intel or a kind of intelligence report or information upon which they act upon. Then they move to arrest. I've said it severally that even in the law courts, from what I have observed as a practicing lawyer, one of the strongest reasons why many prosecutions fail in Nigeria is because they start with arrest. When you start with arrest, if the person has cronies, for example, if it were to be a syndicate thing, the normal thing is for those at large, that is those that are not yet arrested, to start covering up tracks. So to be more difficult for you to see your case through. It is always better, and even in your own interest, you don't have to beat anybody to confess in court. You don't have to coerce them to do that. All right, investigate thoroughly first. Don't even place calls here. You're about to say Emma Fumolara, so that by the time you come up to them, you'll have had overwhelming information or evidence, as we call them, against such suspects or persons. Okay, if we can rearrange how we do these things, it will be better. As far as I'm concerned, virtually all, out of about 10 cases that I've witnessed, out of every 10 cases, all right, 9 of them, arrest is the first thing that our police officers do. Of course, it is not connected to the fact that most times when most officers hear of a case, most times the first thing they think about is the money they will get from all parties. Whether you are the complainant, you are the suspect, you are the shorty, almost everybody must shake body. Like Saka will say, drop something. If this mentality can be rearranged, I'm sure that prosecution will be better off for it. Okay, because there's no time, let's move on straight to today's thinking, today's discussion. Still on right to privacy. Your right to privacy. I've talked about your gadgets, phones and laptops. By the way, We have a guest in the house today. When the time is ripe, you will hear about him. He's a very he's a young chap. He should be between ages 9 and 12. Don't worry, he's not talking now. When the time comes, I'm just whetting your appetite. Don't worry. There is something very fascinating I heard about this guest. He will be talking to us. Please, if you have a child or children that wish to study law, be a lawyer, be an engineer, a teacher or whatever, please, a doctor, get them to the set today. A young, vibrant and promising boy will speak to us today. I want to learn from him too. I heard him after the program last week. He called me and said, "Hello sir, I like your program. I like you. I want to be a lawyer too." I said, "Wow, I'm impressed. You know what? Can you be on my show?" He said, "No problem." I spoke to the parents. I didn't kidnap him or myself and the father brought him down here together. So when the time is ripe, when we take a short break between 3:20 and 3:30, thereabout, before we begin to take your calls, he shall be speaking to us. I'll ask him some questions. Let's know what he thinks about what it takes to be a lawyer and the likes. When the time comes, you will hear from the horse's mouth his name, his school. I'm sure, I don't know whether it's in primary school or secondary school. I don't even know yet. All right, the name of his school and all that. And when the time is ripe shortly, you will hear that. Just hold on for that. All right. Now to today's issue. Your home. Apart from your gadgets, you also have a right to privacy of your home. Your home is your home, your house. No one has the right to barge into your house. I told us last week or maybe some time ago, a client called me and said that some NDLEA officers or so, they leapt over his fence, just like typical of what armed robbers will do. And they broke open his door and asked him, but I don't know whether it was, I can't recall whether it was NDLEA or SARS or something now, but one, security agency. And they said they were looking for exhibit. All right, nothing whatsoever, no search warrant, nothing. Just imagine if Nigeria were to be a country where gun is licensed, and I'm praying and pushing for that. I could have fired you off. I would think you were a thief, for God's sake. Not even a thief, an armed robber. There's a difference between a thief and an armed robber. A thief steals, all right. A thief would take what belongs to you without letting you know. That's why it is called stealing. Stealing is from the word stealth. But an armed robber will look at you and say, "It is your own, give it to me." That's the difference. That's why armed robber, the punishment is death sentence. But for stealing, for thieves, 3 years, 7 years, etc., depending on several circumstances. So it's a difference between a robber and a thief, or stealing and robbing. Different things. Those things are very, very uncalled for. Please, Nigeria can be a better place. Yes, Buhari has roles to play. Dakabedon has roles to play. Olakunle Oluomo has roles to play. Mama Dipeolu, the CJ, has roles to play, but you and I too have roles to play. Now, speaking, at this point in time to our security agencies. So there are exceptions to that. You have a right, not my words, the Constitution says you have a right to your privacy of your home, your house, your dwelling place. There are exceptions. One, if the officers have a search warrant, all right, to come and search your house or your place, then they can come into that place and search it. A search warrant is, another word for warrant is authority. So search warrant is an authority to search a place, all right? And not just anybody can sign it, all right? A sergeant can sign it, a corporal can sign it. It should be from the ASP and above. A magistrate or a judge too may sign a search warrant. Of course, the place to be searched must be named in that search warrant, okay? These are the proper thing, even warrant of arrest. If there's a warrant of arrest, a proper and valid warrant of arrest should contain the name of the person to be arrested. All these things usually are flouted in Nigeria, and we live as if we are still in the jungle. Nigeria can be a better place. Nigeria will be a better place. That's one of the reasons I brought this vibrant young boy today to talk to us. I believe if he had given up on Nigeria, I'm sure he wouldn't tell me the things he told me last week. You will hear for yourselves part of the things he told me last week. All right, that's one. Two is custom officers. Yes, custom officers have rights to also come into your home or your apartment to search if they have reasonable grounds to believe that you have contraband in that house. Don't take my word for it. From sections 128 to section 130 of the Customs and Excise Duties Act, it is contained therein rights to entry of or into premises rather. So custom officers can enter into premises, Same thing for NDLEA officers, to search for contrabands, whether or not you have contrabands in your possession. That's permitted. And then any other law permitting any other agency to do that. But remember that there must be a reasonable suspicion. You can't just go on rampage. You can't just go on at random from house to house like it is only thieves and robbers. All right, they jump from one face to the other. They rob this, rob that, rob this, rob that. No. There must have been a very strong intel upon which you are acting upon before you can barge into someone's privacy. Privacy is very, very important. Because of our guest, I'll try to rush through the points today. Now, apart from, I've mentioned gadgets last week. Number 2, I've mentioned your home this week. Number 3 is your correspondence. A simple word for correspondence is your letters, your mails, your text messages, etc. Nobody has a right to barge into your correspondence. Another example is, hold your horses, we're about to hear this big one. Yes, your WhatsApp and Facebook chats are your private lives. Nobody has a right to barge into your WhatsApp or your Facebook or whatever, Instagram, whatever life. It is strictly your private life. At times, police officers, back to you again. Civil defense, so safe call. We have not heard so much bad things about so safe call. Trace officers and all that. Once again, anyway, and so trace. Thank you guys for that. All right. At times, I will be driving past and I will see some officers stopping taxis. At times, I will be traveling. They will stop buses and they will collect people's phones and be scrolling through them to check their account balance to see whether they are millionaires, whether some millions fly to their account. For God's sake, it is typical of only a thief. That ought not to happen. You are not there to persecute people, to make life difficult for people. That is very, very wrong. Please, if something happens to you, in case you are listening to me, just look out for their first numbers, okay, and their names. Look out for their first numbers and their names. All right, get them reported. Gradually these things will begin to fizzle out. And to Oga Oyeyemi, if you are listening to me now, the PPRO of Ogun State, and to Kenneth Abramson, the CP of Ogun State, and to AIG, to Oga Wale Abbas, the DC, to all rank and file of police, the bosses in Ogun State, please, I want to beg us, please always make it compulsory for your officers to put on their uniforms whenever they are on duty. All right, whenever they are on duty. I have several examples of when officers were mistaken for robbers. Yes, several examples. That's happened to me too. But let me leave those ones for now. Please, police officers, as much as possible, endeavor to put on your uniform whenever you are on duty. We want to know your name. We want to know your first number. All right. Tioba Shirere Ara Kiwa Yaobi is what the Bible says. All right. So your Facebook chat and WhatsApp chat are strictly yours. So no one, including the police, without your express permission, should read up your messages, your texts, etc. Let me now sound a note of warning. In law, consent or authority can be in various forms. Express consent is when you write permitting somebody to do something, all right, or when you say it. Implied consent is you have not written it, but somehow one would think that you have permitted him or her. Let me give you an example. Let's say I gave my phone to Amara and I said, Amara, please let me respond to my messages or my calls. And she scrolls through and sees some private things. Can I successfully sue Amarachi? No, I cannot. Why? Because it will be implied. All she needs to do to tell a lawyer, all a lawyer would do would to tell the judge, or to ask me in court, Mr. Diremi, did Amara steal your phone? I will say, no, my lord. Did she forcefully take your phone? I'll say, no, my lord. How did your phone get to her hand? My lord, I gave it to her. What did you tell her to do with the phone when you gave it to her? My lord, I told her to take my messages and my calls. If I were the lawyer, I would just say, my lord, that would be all. I would just go and sit down. Because by implication, I have permitted her to pry into my privacy. And thirdly, which I will stop on for time's sake, is by conduct. By conduct. I will give an example, and I'll talk briefly about, I may talk about estoppel briefly, By conduct means, imagine if someone comes to your office and says, maybe you sell maybe you sell recharge cards, and someone comes to the office and says to people, hello, I'm his employee, you know, you can buy cards from us, and the person actually is not your staff, and the person keeps on saying, I am his staff, and you do not say, hey Joe, your staff from you are hearing it, you are not debunking it, you are not rebutting all those things. If such things happen and that person collects money from people and swindles them, maybe runs away, the question is, will you as the owner be guilty? Remember, you have not told her to do that. 2, you didn't tell her to collect money. 3, you didn't tell her to even say that she's your staff. 4, you didn't know her whereabouts, you didn't tell her to run away. So with all these things, can you be free from liability? Unfortunately, no. And why so? Because by implication, all right, or by your conduct, you cannot deny such person. It is called the doctrine of estoppel. You will be estopped from denying such person because the person had in your presence misrepresented to people that she was your staff. So based on that belief, they had acted and given him or her money. So if she cuts away with the money, you will be the one responsible. So even in marriage, there's something we call jactitation of marriage. If someone says, Okominima is my husband, and he's not your husband, or is my wife because she's beautiful, or is my husband because he's rich or something, that is against the law. All right, there can be an order gotten against you, and you'll be asked and forced to pay damages for that. All right, now what is the basis for all these things I've talked about? Your phone, etc. The basis is simple. This is because how you live your private life is strictly your private business. QED. How you live your private life is strictly your private business. It's nobody's business. I don't know whether time will permit me to summarize in Yoruba today, but if it does, if time permits, I will try and do that. But let me try and run through everything because I want to hear from my august visitor today, guest today. All right, remember in Nigeria, there's something called levirate system of marriage. What does that mean? From the word levites. Levirate is when you get married to somebody, in your mind, just know that you are married to the person's family. Not the person alone. That's why you're about to see that. Why? What that means in English is that it is better to have a bad-mannered wife than to have a bad mannered in-law. So why will it be better? It's because you go here when because when you are married to a person that has very difficult in-laws, most likely such marriages will be difficult. And I feel pained when I see people queue up in courts, especially in family courts, Abeokuta Ishabo here, asking for customary divorce. It's painful. I mean, they are in their hundreds. Most times, court will need on one last lot queue sitter. It's bad, actually. So, anyway, as time goes on, one day we'll discuss marriage laws, marriage acts, matrimonial causes laws, and the likes. You know, as time goes on, God's plan in our lives. Okay, so bear in mind that however your life is private, but think of other people as well. Okay, I will mention one last thing, and then I will give some 2 examples. We'll take a break and then have our guest come in. The last one is I've mentioned rights to privacy of your gadgets. 2, I've mentioned your homes. 3, I've mentioned correspondence. The last one is your telephone calls or telegraphic conversations. Nobody has a right to tap into your telephone calls or conversation. A woman came to our office one day and said herself and her husband had parted ways, but the husband was still trailing her. So I don't know how the man did it. The man now tapped into her line. So everyone she was calling, the man kept recording all our private conversations. And how did she get to know that? The man would just call her and say, everything that you said to that man yesterday, all that you said I heard. And after a while, she realized that she was tapping into her calls. Even though they were husband and wife, something was wrong to do. And if not that the woman, she was begged and all that, we were willing to sue the telecommunications that allowed such to happen. I think the husband knew someone in the telco and they were giving her all those things. That's a very, very unethical thing to do. Okay, so what are the exceptions upon which your lines may be tapped? Basically, telcos. When I say telcos, I mean telecommunications. They may tap into your line. Why? For public reason. And don't take my word for it. The exception is in section 45, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. What does it say? It says that section 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41. It says some laws can be made to override those rights contained in sections 37 to 41. Some laws can be made to override all the laws, all your rights in section 37 to 41. However, there are some things for such law to be valid. Some things must be present. Some things must be present. What are those things? One, whatever that will override those rights in section 37 to 41, for example, right to privacy is 37. So if anything must override it, number one, that thing must be a law. It can't be a governor's directive. It can't be a court's directive. It can't be IG's directive. No, it must be a law. A law must have been in place trying to override that. Two, that law must be in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, or public health. You can see public coming in. That means that a governor cannot, because of his personal self, all right, reasons or whatever thing, even somebody is threatening him or all that, all right, and all that, you cannot tap into someone's lines. There has to be a law permitting any agency or anyone to do that. And finally, that law must be for the purpose of protecting the rights and freedom of other persons. If, for example, somebody is threatening me, like it happened before, I contested for House of Assembly last year, or Deda, and towards the election, somebody always, but not even one person, they'll just call me and say, and he likes, you know. So if I could, that was a threat to life. You know, I spoke with my police friends at the time. If we now track that number, all right, and begin to tap into the person's call, can I be guilty of invading his privacy? No, because he was trying to endanger my life, okay, over such thing. So these are what our laws say. Can I rush in Yoruba? Let me just pick one or two of them in Yoruba. Alright, ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa oríṣiríṣi òfin tó sọ wípé ìwọ ló ní ayé ẹ̀ bó bá ṣe wọ ẹni kò lè lò. Ẹ má yẹ ká gbàgbé wípé tá bá ṣe ń lo ayé wa náà ká má fi ní ẹnì kejì wa ní ara. A sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé bó bá ṣe wọ ẹ́ ló ṣe lè lo laptop ẹ àti fóònù ẹ. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó ń dáyàn lọ́nà wípé jẹ́ wo laptop ẹ jẹ́ wo fóònù ẹ ó lòdì sí òfin, kò tọ́. Ìkejì tí a sọ lénìí òun ni pé o lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti gbé ilé ẹ̀ bó bá ṣe wù ẹ́. Ẹnikẹ́ni kò wá lè já ilẹ̀kùn lé kó wá wọlé àbí kó fò ìgànná wọlé kó lóun fẹ́ wá nǹkan kan láì ṣe pé ó ní nǹkan tá à ń pè ní warrant, search warrant, which is agbára tí wọ́n fún bóyá láti ilé ẹjọ́ àbí láti tí ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá kan fún láti wá wá ilé ẹ̀ bóyá wọ́n ṣe ìwádìí nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́, wọ́n ṣe investigation. Ìkẹta, correspondence, lẹ́tà tó nǹkan, email ẹ̀, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Ẹnikẹ́ni ò lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti wò ó láì ṣe pé ó gba ẹniyẹn ní ààyè láti wò. A dẹ̀ wo àwọn tàbí ṣùgbọ́n tí ó lè fi tàpá sí irú òfin bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Òfin nígbà wá láyè, àmì àkókò nígbà wá láyè láti wo àwọn tàbí ṣùgbọ́n yẹn. Ok, ìkẹrin òun wá ní gbogbo ìpè bóyá à ń pe ẹnìkan ẹ̀rọ àgbéká wa. Ẹnikẹ́ni ò lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti máa wo ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká wa àfi tó bá jẹ́ wípé náà kò sí láti ṣe máa wo gan bóyá mo ń bá yàn sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n á tap line yẹn. Ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi ń bá Akeem sọ bóyá Tóbi Joseph ó ń gbọ́ lápá àbìkan ọ̀rọ̀ kan lágbára Tóbi Joseph ó lágbára báyìí àbí bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ sódíà ní ẹni ọlá tó ń gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ń bá yàn sọ kò bá òfin mu. Tí rẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ kéèsì yẹn máa dùn. Akeem àbí kéèsì yẹn máa dùn. Ok, generally speaking, nǹkan tí a sọ lé nìyẹn. Ó wà láwọn òfin kan ọ̀hún tí wọ́n lè fi àwọn òfin kan wà tó tún dàbí tàbí ṣùgbọ́n sí ìta ti sọ yìí ṣùgbọ́n àkókò kò ní gbà wá láyè. Ẹ wo, èmi máa ń tẹnu wọn pé Nàìjíríà táwa yìí ó sì máa dára lójú ẹ̀mí mi ni o, lójú ẹ̀mí mi lágbára Ọlọ́run ìlú yìí sì máa dára, ó sì máa dùn gbé fún gbogbo wa. Ọlọ́run á ràn gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́. Yes, I said I will give two examples. Let me say these examples. The first of them is this. Husband and wife went to the hospital together. The wife was treated. After she was treated, they left the hospital. About 2-3 years down the line, they divorced, or they went their separate ways. So the husband now they didn't divorce, but They scattered. The husband now wanted to get back to the wife, so he went back to the hospital to collect the medical report of the wife. He now filed it in court. When we saw that, we said, this is wrong. So we sued the hospital and sued the doctor that this is wrong. You should not have given, even though, yes, they came to the hospital together, and yes, he is the husband. You should not have done that. And the doctor said, but I asked the man, that where is the wife, before I gave him. He said, the man said the wife was sick. Because she was sick, she could not walk, she couldn't come. I said, that is not enough. You have what your law says. There's something called the Hippocratic Oath for doctors. What that means is in two ways. It means that your client's or your patient's confidentiality is of paramount importance. Alright? You must not, under any condition, disclose your client's medical history or report to anybody. One, there are exceptions to that if you are doctors. Another day we may look at that actually. And number two is that you must think of what will be of good, to the life of your patient. All right, you can treat a patient of a disease and he will die of your treatment. That's possible too. So the Hippocratic Act is a combination of oath. It's a combination of those two things. As doctors, life is firstly paramount, and confidentiality is also very paramount. All right, there are other examples too, which time won't permit me to give. Of course, we have sued hospitals and doctors at least about 2 to 3 times in Abeokuta, in Ogun State here, and the court agreed with us that under no circumstance should you issue somebody's medical report, even to the father or to the brother, to the sister. No, except the person gives you permission or the court says so. And even under such, you must issue it under protest. If time permits us, at a different day, we shall look at it. Okay, we'll take a very short break now. Alright, ẹ jẹ́ ká mú mi sí àti bọ́ yẹn náà. Alright, ẹ fáwọn àtàwọn ògbó èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tọ́lọ́ tí dókítà kan bá lọ mú bóyá ó ṣe àyẹ̀wò ẹ̀, ó wá lọ mú èsì àyẹ̀wò ẹ̀ fún ẹnìkan, kò bá jẹ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀ lọ fún àbọ̀kọ ẹ̀, àbọ̀ rẹ̀ àbí ẹnìkan àbọ̀ ọlọ́pàá, ó lòdì, ó lùgbà sí òfin, kò yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ lè fi ojú wọn dí dófin. Ẹ bá lọ́ọ̀yà yín, amòfin yín sọ̀rọ̀, ó mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tó máa gbé láti kí ọwọ́ irú dókítà bọ́ yẹn bọ̀ inú aṣọ. Let's take a very short break. When we come back, we have our guest. We know his name, his school, his age, everything. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
True freedom requires the rule of law and justice. But what is justice without respect for human rights? What are these rights? Do you know your right as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? What are your obligations and responsibilities under the law? Join Kayode Aderemi Esquire on The Law and You on Rockcity 101.9 FM, Sundays 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
All right. Let's have our guest in the house. Let's start by knowing your name, young man. Tell us your name, please.
My name is Comrade Temilade Aburishade.
Comrade Gay. What is the meaning of Comrade Ojare? Tell us.
Comrade is when you are already a lawyer or a human rights.
Someone that is into human rights activities.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Can I clap in the studio? Okay. Let me clap for Ojare. So a comrade is someone that's into human rights activism. By the way, I remember Comrade Ishiomole. Now ex-governor Ishiomole. He was into comradeship too. You know, he was NLC, or was the NUC chairman or something. Yes. Your name is what? A comrade? What again? Aborishade what?
Temilade.
Temilade Aborishade. How old are you, please?
I am 10 years old.
10?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to ask, sir. Are you sure you are 10 years old?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us when you were born then.
2009.
Wow. That means you'll be 11 this year.
Yes.
When is your birthday?
October.
October what?
6.
Am I allowed to go? Maybe am I allowed to go? Comrade Temilade Aborishade. He's 10 years old. What's the name of your school, please?
Fallball Royal School.
Fallball Royal School. Where is that, please?
At
in Abeokuta here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. You called me last week, I remember.
Yes,
After
sir.
I finished my program, I got home, I got a call, and I heard this soothing voice that, hello, good afternoon, and all that. Why did you call me last week, please?
Because I've been dreaming to become a lawyer.
Ooh, why?
Because I don't want people. I want people to know their rights. I don't want them to be in prison just for nothing.
So, is he a lawyer that will not do that?
Yes, sir.
How will a lawyer do that?
They will call the lawyer, and when they call the lawyer will see to the case.
Wait, I need to ask you some other questions. Hope you don't mind.
No, sir.
Now, how did you become a comrade?
I went to Ibadan for my induction. Okay. And when I came back,
you became one?
Yes, sir.
So a comrade stands for people's rights. So you have to go as far as Ibadan for induction?
Yes, sir.
Do your parents know about this?
Yes, sir.
And they support it?
Yes, sir.
But you know it takes a lot to be a comrade. Some people will hate you, some will fight you. They've threatened my life before, really. You know, would all these things, after a while, what if you are scared?
I will not be scared.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Your name is Temilade Abroshade again, right?
Yes, sir.
It has been said that you said you want to be a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Great. God will help you, actually.
Amen.
All right. Was there any other reason you called me last week? Why? What other reason, please?
Because just one day I want to become a lawyer, just like you.
Some people say that lawyers are cultists. You know, the way we go to court. Do you like our regalia?
Yes,
you know,
sir.
we put
Jabot.
Oh yeah, you know, the gown, the wig, the bib and everything, your jacket, your black shoes and all that. When you want to enter the court, you bow. When you're going out, you bow too. People often tell me that you guys are cultists, man. You want to be a cultist too?
No, sir.
Huh? But some say cultists are lawyers are cultists are lawyers. So how do you want to be a lawyer if you're not a cultist?
I'm not a cultist also.
Is it not good to be a cultist, ne?
It's not good, sir.
Why?
Because if you're a cultist, people will know you as a cultist and they may call police to come and arrest you.
So what is bad about being a cultist anyway?
It is not good at all.
Why? I mean, there are other young people at home, whatever place, listening to you now. They want to know. There are some people that will say, I'm a cultist though. You try me, I'll bump you. You know, they feel like, you know, they're powerful. So is it not, what's bad about being a cultist anyway? Do you know?
No, sir.
Let me now share one thing with you. Secret cultism is against the law. If you are into a secret cult, it's against the law. Alright?
Yes,
and if that is why it's called secret cult. It's not open cult. I can say now, that's why I can say my name. My name is Kayode. I'm Barrister Kayode Aderemi. I'm not afraid of that. But can somebody come out and say I am cultist Aye Kayode Aderemi?
No, sir.
You can't even be my name, self. Let's use jargon. They can't do that because, you know, alright. So, but you are for the light, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means that it is not true that all lawyers are cultists. Yes. All right, at least I'm not one. If I'm in your cult, call now. I'm not a cultist. I don't have to be a cultist to be a lawyer. You can be a very decent man or decent woman or decent boy or girl and become a lawyer also. Is there anything you want to tell us, please, or those are listening at home, for young people that want to become lawyers, engineers, teachers, whatever, even drivers, doctors, whatever, surveyors at home? There's something that are young like you want to tell them at home?
To become a lawyer is not even easy at all.
Nah, who told you that, to comrade?
It's not easy.
How did you know that?
Because when I went to Ibadan, I saw some boys they are just carrying something, selling for their family.
Oh, can you just say that, you know, louder? Just move closer to the microphone so I can hear you.
I saw
when you went for your induction in Ibadan, you saw some boys?
Yes, just selling something.
On the road, you mean?
Yes, sir.
And what's bad about that?
It's because their parents don't have something. They don't send them to school.
You know, people at home or wherever you're listening to us, please trust me, I did not prepare any question at all. I didn't prep him at all. I'm asking these questions from him from the very first time, really. I deliberately put him on hot seat. I don't even mind him making mistakes. Of course, he can be corrected. Please, this is why we should believe in our future. We must invest in humans. Humans are the greatest asset anywhere in the world. Humans are the greatest asset. Even when this COVID-19 ban thing came out, Dangote was exempted. His companies were exempted because he's making impact. He's making impact. Please, our dear children, I mean our dear parents, and you be one a John to your long. Ejeka gbìyànjú. Mo ti ṣàkíyèsí gẹ́gẹ́ bí èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ amòfin tí mo ń ṣe. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà àwọn ọmọdé tó máa ń fi ẹ̀sùn kàn wípé bóyá wọ́n lọ jalè àbọ̀n ṣàṣemáṣe lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà wọn ò kí ń sí ní ilé ìwé, wọn ò ń sí ní ilé ìwé. Bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta sí mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn mo sọ wípé ẹ̀yin àgbà náà lẹ sọ kò ń ṣe mí o, mo kàn sí yín jẹ ni o. Ẹ̀yin náà lẹ sọ wípé ọmọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńkọ́, ẹ má jẹ́ ń parí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Tó bá jẹ́ méjì lágbára wá ká, wọ́n ń ta ọmọ, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Inú mi dùn fún ọmọ yìí. By the grace of God, anytime you can follow me to the Comr Shade. If thank God there's Igbele now, COVID-19 Igbele. I go to court every other day. If you want to go to court with me to witness how I handle my cases, just tell your daddy, all right? Yes. I'll be willing to have you follow me. You sit down at the back, watch how things are done, so that one day you become strong lawyer, Temilade, Shade. There's nothing you can't take away a piece of experience. Thank you very, 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 very much. Please don't go yet. Let's take our callers' questions. Just very few questions. Time is far spent already. Yes, let's take our callers, please. Maybe we'll do this. If you cannot answer all the questions today, we will finish up next week. I will try and answer some ones. The ones we can't finish up today, we will take next week. Maybe we'll make next week more of questions again, so that those that are trying to call us today that could not get in can do so next week. Can give more time for calls next week. All right, tomorrow from Kotoko, are people in prison are there people in prison for just no reason? It happens like that at times, but it won't be for just no reason. No, it could be that maybe they don't have legal representation. But you could see lawyer to maduro for one. Some people don't have money to pay. All right, and if a lawyer, there's something we call pro bono. Pro bono is what you do for free. What a lawyer does for free. You render your service for free. All right. So if that person does not get a lawyer to do his job pro bono, the person may go to prison. I told us the case of a man that they asked him, did you kill the man? He said yes. Meanwhile, under the law, he didn't kill him. But because the intricacies of law, he just said, my lord, the man could have gone for 21 years in prison, if not that I was in court that day. So, by the grace of God, God used me to save his life. I'm sure that's what Comrade Temilade wants to be doing as well. I just said, my Lord, even though I was not his lawyer, I just said, my Lord, can I have just a word with this man? The court said, go ahead. And I told him, sir, he rammed into my car. I didn't ram against him or ram into him. And they asked him again, are you guilty or not? He said, my Lord, I'm not guilty. All right, and he was set free. He could have been in 21 years in prison for that slight error or slight mistake. 2, Pastor Shola Makinde, tenants are owing for about 20 months or more. What can you do? Fortunately or unfortunately, we can't resort to self-help in Ogun State. Or even in Nigeria, the law does not permit it. You still have to consult your lawyer. Some steps have to be taken. Let me advise landlords, please, when you want to let out your house, that is a kind of business because you are helping the government. It should be the government's job or business to provide housing for the people, to provide water, not you digging borehole, to provide road, not you spending your money to build your streets. But when governments can't do this, people can help the government, all right, by building houses and renting out to the people. All right, so when they don't give you money, please, or when you want to take tenants in, always engage your lawyers. I beg us, because when you give house agents, they are trying once you share, because I want to but agreements to your conscience and don't bond more copy and paste. That's why I advise all landlords, please. Even if it is just 15%, Lara will rent the mama phone lawyer or whatever, it just all around you, but I won't really bow. But o better you pay a man, because they bani wala yema poju got here law. With an agreement now, Pastor Shalama Kinde could have done a very, very simple thing. A simple thing. But if Pastor Shalama Kinde, maybe you should contact your lawyer, sir. But because if there is no agreement between you and those people, you have to first give them 6 months quick notice. You can imagine. And they don't get 20 months, not even 6 months. You can imagine the problem. Although there are exceptions to that, which time won't permit us to go into. But please, contact a lawyer. He knows exactly what to do to help you evict those tenants. And you know that there only 20 months. Go down. You are by Jenny. Telling about cutting income. Please do unto others what you expect them to do unto you. Thirdly, an anonymous question. Let me take one more question. Okay, my standing from the studio here, our console operator is saying not anything more, not anything more. We have a lot of questions more to answer to. I'm very sorry, please, we can't take any more questions. I'm very sorry, I'm not being too long. But let me just, for the sake of Pa Oladosu Ademola, he said he would like to know Comrade Temilade Aboshade and do the support that he wants to render. Please kindly call me after the program, sir. My number is 0803 050 3271. Take it one more time for Paola Dosu Ademola, please. 0803 050 3271. Please kindly come after the program. I will link you with the father or the mother, and I will take it off from there. Temilade, how about you say thank you to our listeners at home?
Thank you for listening to me.
All right. Any other thing? That's just all right. Thank you very much. All right. Encourage. We get to talk some more and know some more by the grace of God. This is a bye-bye for today, where we'll be drawing the curtains. I want to thank all our listeners. People called me from Lagos. Somebody called me from Shaki. I didn't know how they got to listen to the program from there. Some called from Ibadan. Some called from somebody called from Ipokia, telling us how things went. I really appreciate all of you. Please, thank you very much. Please, we are open to sponsorship and adverts. Approach Rockcity FM. All right. Please, you are free to come for adverts and sponsorship. My name again is Barrister Kayode Aderemi. This is your program, The Law and You, on Rockcity 101.9 FM. Please, between now and next week Sunday, like I usually say as I'm signing out, whatever thing you do between now and next Sunday, ensure that you are on the right side of the law. God bless you.